How can Stoicism positively influence the way we live? The answer is simple and practical, in many ways, and our channel is here precisely to show you that. As the great Seneca said, life is too short, and there is too much time for irrationality. This phrase by Seneca, one of the most important philosophers of Stoicism, reminds us of the importance of living consciously and in line with solid principles. And that's why we're going to talk about 8 anti-Stoic habits that may be sabotaging our quest for a fuller, more meaningful life. If you have any of these 8 habits that we're going to explore in today's video, stop right now and rethink your daily attitudes. Habit 1. Complaining about things beyond our reach. Seneca, the wise Stoic, gives us a valuable lesson on the importance of directing our energy towards what is within our control. We often find ourselves grumbling about external factors, such as chaotic traffic or unfavorable weather. However, Seneca reminds us that this complaining doesn't change events, but can erode our inner peace. Imagine yourself stuck in traffic. Congestion is inevitable, and complaining doesn't speed up the flow of cars. At that moment, we can choose to accept the situation with serenity, taking the opportunity to listen to an educational podcast, or simply enjoy the scenery. The change of perspective transforms the experience from something negative to something enriching. So the next time you feel the temptation to grumble about something beyond your control, take a deep breath, regain control of your emotions, and focus on what you can influence. True wisdom lies in discerning between what we can change and what we must accept with equanimity. Habit 2. Seeking to please others all the time. The Stoic understands that the true source of contentment lies in the consistent practice of virtue, not in the incessant search for the approval of others. In seeking to please everyone, we run the risk of losing our authenticity, sacrificing fundamental principles in exchange for temporary praise. Imagine shaping your choices and actions to fit in with other people's expectations. You can become a deluded version of yourself, a puppet of other people's opinions. The Stoic, however, prioritizes personal integrity and lives according to his own principles, even if it means displeasing some. The constant search for external approval is a heavy burden, as the opinions of others are volatile and often uncontrollable. Instead, let's seek inner approval, that which comes from alignment with our deepest values. By making choices in line with virtue, we build solid and lasting self-esteem. So the next time you feel the pressure to please everyone, remember Seneca's words. It is not that we should have lower opinions of ourselves, but lower opinions of what others think of us. Let's be true to ourselves and our convictions, guided by the light of virtue. Habit 3. Seeking excessive pleasure. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, offers us timeless wisdom when he warns us about the dangers of giving in to unbridled pleasure. It's not about denying pleasure, but balancing it with reason and moderation. By seeking excessive pleasure, we run the risk of creating an illusory escape from life's difficulties, instead of facing them head-on. Imagine yourself in a moment of ephemeral pleasure, whether through food indulgence, excessive entertainment, or other forms of instant gratification. While these moments provide momentary joy, the constant pursuit of this pleasure can take us away from the responsibilities and challenges that make up the real journey of life. The real art lies in finding a balance, enjoying life's pleasures in a conscious and moderate way. In doing so, we can extract the maximum from each experience without losing ourselves in the incessant search for fleeting sensations. Learning to differentiate between momentary pleasure and lasting happiness is the key to a fuller and more meaningful life. So the next time you feel the temptation to seek excessive pleasure, stop and reflect on how you can balance this pursuit with reason and moderation. True satisfaction comes not from constant indulgence, but from conscious appreciation of the pleasures that life offers us. Habit 4. Being a perfectionist in everything. The Stoic deeply understands impermanence and the unattainability of perfection. Seneca reminds us that the important thing is not to seek perfection in everything, but to progress and learn along the way. Being a perfectionist in all areas of life can result not only in stagnation, but also in procrastination and paralysis. Imagine yourself faced with a complex task where the incessant search for perfection prevents you from taking action. Excessive perfectionism often makes us fear failure so much that we avoid starting. The Stoic, on the other hand, sees the process as a continuous learning opportunity, accepting imperfections as a natural part of the path to personal improvement. Accepting our imperfections and understanding that progress is more valuable than perfection frees us from the burden of constant self-criticism. Instead of setting ourselves impossible standards, we will commit ourselves to excellence and continuous growth. In doing so, we discover that true beauty lies in the journey, not in the final destination. So the next time you feel the pressure of perfectionism, remember that excellence lies in accepting imperfections and constantly striving for self-improvement. Be kind to yourself, celebrate progress, and embrace the process of constant evolution. Habit 5. Being a slave to your emotions. Seneca, the Stoic master, advises us not to become slaves to our own emotions. Although it is natural to feel a wide range of emotions, it is vital to learn to control them and not be dominated by momentary impulses. The practice of serenity enables us to face challenges clearly and calmly, rather than being carried away by the tumultuous tide of passing feelings. Imagine yourself facing a challenging situation that arouses an intense emotion, such as anger or sadness. The Stoic understands that by blindly surrendering to these emotions, we lose the ability to reason clearly and objectively. Instead, cultivating serenity allows us to respond thoughtfully, turning challenges into opportunities for growth and learning. The daily practice of observing and understanding our emotions gives us the ability to choose how to react to them. Instead of being overwhelmed by momentary impulses, we can direct our energy towards constructive solutions. Serenity is not the absence of emotion, but the ability to choose the wisest response to them. So the next time you feel a wave of intense emotions, take a deep breath, observe them objectively, and choose to respond with serenity. By doing so, you free yourself from emotional slavery and become the master of your own destiny, guided by Stoic wisdom in the midst of life's emotional storms. Habit 6. Living in the past or the future. The Stoic understands the precious essence of the present and the futility of constantly living in the shadows of the past or the uncertainties of the future. Imagine yourself immersing yourself in the memories of the past, reliving moments that are long gone. Although nostalgia can have its charms, the Stoic recognizes that living in the past prevents us from growing and evolving. Likewise, constantly projecting ourselves into the future, while valuable for planning, can generate unnecessary anxiety and worry. The Stoic invites us to find a delicate balance where we fully appreciate the present, cultivating gratitude for what we have now, while planning wisely for the future. By living in the present, we make room for the fullness of experience. Every moment becomes an opportunity for learning, growth, and appreciation. So the next time you find yourself immersed in memories or worried about what's to come, return to the now. True life is lived in the present, and that's where we find true wealth. Habit 7. Avoiding challenges and adversity. Life, as the Stoic teaches us, is full of challenges, a complex tapestry of experiences that shape our character and strengthen our resilience. By actively avoiding challenges, we deny ourselves the opportunity for growth and development. Imagine yourself facing a seemingly insurmountable challenge. The Stoic understands that it is in these moments that we find our true inner strength. Avoiding adversity not only prevents us from developing resilience, but also limits our potential to understand the depth of our own capacity. Every challenge is a disguised opportunity to overcome, a chance to discover inner resources that we may never have known we had. So instead of avoiding challenges, let's embrace them as valuable opportunities for growth. By facing adversity head-on, we not only become stronger, but we also acquire a wisdom that can only be gained through experience. Remember, it is in the storms of life that we find our true essence and emerge more resilient and wiser. Habit 8. Blaming others for our problems. The Stoic understands the powerful freedom that comes with accepting responsibility for one's own life. Blaming others, on the other hand, puts us in the role of powerless victims, unable to shape our own destiny. Imagine yourself faced with a challenge or obstacle, attributing responsibility to external factors. The Stoic, however, reminds us that true freedom arises when we recognize our role in shaping our destiny. Taking responsibility for our choices and actions gives us the power to change what is within our reach. Instead of getting lost in the search for blame, let's focus on constructive solutions. By adopting a proactive mindset, we become architects of our own narrative, shaping our journey with wisdom and authenticity. So the next time you're tempted to blame others for your problems, pause and reflect on how you can take control of your own life. True freedom begins when we become the captains of our own destiny, navigating the waters of life with courage and determination. If you've identified with some of these 8 anti-establishment habits, you're not alone. These behavior patterns are more common than we think, and recognizing their presence is the first step towards personal transformation. In Stoicism, awareness is the key to change, and the good news is that it's always possible to adjust our course and cultivate a mindset more in line with Stoic teachings. The special tip, a real treasure in Stoic principles, is to start practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is a powerful tool for increasing awareness of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. By becoming more aware of your patterns of thought and behavior, you acquire the ability to interrupt harmful habits and redirect your energy towards wiser choices. Another valuable practice is daily reflection. Take time to evaluate your actions, identify recurring patterns, and consider how you could approach situations in a way that is more in line with your values. A reflection journal can be a powerful ally in this process, allowing you to track your progress over time. In addition, the constant search for knowledge is a powerful weapon against these anti-Stoic habits. Read classic works of Stoic philosophy, such as Seneca's Letters, Marcus Aurelius' Meditations, and Epictetus' Dialogues. Absorb the teachings of these great philosophers, allowing them to guide your daily actions and thoughts. And finally, remember that change doesn't happen overnight. Be kind to yourself during this process of self-transformation. Celebrate the small progress, learn from the challenges, and stay committed to continuous growth. The journey to eliminate these anti-Stoic habits is a path of self-discovery and self-transformation, and each conscious step brings you closer to a fuller, more meaningful life in line with Stoic principles.